I feel like? I feel like you guys resolve things, but you guys really all still need to sit down because everybody had their own faults in this. Everybody did, you know? And you guys really just need to sit around as brothers and just say sorry and just talk about it and really move on. Like, really still be, it might never be the same, but you guys should still have that brotherly love with each other still, you know? It seems like that's still broken a little bit, but I know you still love them, and I'm sure they still love you.
Laugh and be like, yo, I did some wild, man. That was crazy.
I mean, you can apologize for the stuff you did, right?
Yeah, I actually did. I apologize to each one of them individually. But, yeah, man, it's like, spoke on it. I should have been vocal about it. It's a lot that I did that I would have did differently now that I'm, a little bit older and I view things a little different. But at that time, I could say now I was a little immature. You know what I mean? Like,
you want.
I mean, you could do that.
So, if you guys are on the internet, like I'm sure most of you are, and I got to commend J Hood because last time this was brought up, he just let it go. He didn't care. This was a few years ago. This exact situation got brought up, and he kind of just let it go because it doesn't matter. It's in the past, right?
Right.
But it seems like it keeps getting brought up now. So I caught this. He caught it. I called him and I said, "Hey, you caught this? It's not a big deal, but it's like, why? So if you don't know, there's a guy named Bully that used to be part of D Block. He kind of came in a few years after Hood. He got signed to D Block, and he did an interview with Queen's Flip, right? Yeah. So he did an interview. And, everything seemed good at first, and then somehow Hood got brought up. And he was saying, Hood, he wasn't ready. He never got dropped. He got, he had a whole discrepancy with the guys. And the whole reason his album never came out was because it wasn't ready to come out. And now I got to say, I was around during this time. If I've worked a lot with them in the past. I worked with Hood, we knew each other around that time a lot, so I kind of can attest to everything around that time. Even when Bully came in, I think I did Bully's first video, him and Snipe Life and all that. What was that thing called in Styles?
354 Entertainment.
Yeah, I think that was their first video.
Yeah.
That I did. So anyways, Bully just started talking about Hood. And what stuck out to you that, because you saw it, what did he say that was like,
First and foremost, I just want to put this out here. I'm not even really fully with the whole idea of speaking about this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He spoke about me numerous times, even throughout my whole ordeal that I was having with the big bros, and I just never decided to speak on him because it, like you said, it just wasn't important. And like, why?
Yeah, and but to his point, Bully's a nice guy, so it's not like a real issue. Hood's not like attacking. He's just sometimes if you don't speak on something, a weird narrative gets put out there, so you just got to address it. That's
exactly. all. So, and with that being said, my whole thing is first and foremost, what possesses you to have to bring my name up in your interviews? You know what I mean? I never brought your name up in anything because I didn't feel the need to. And if you're not going to speak factual information, why speak on anything at all? And don't portray like you have factual information when you don't. You know what I mean? The stuff that you're putting out there, you're following the same narrative that these guys was pushing. You know what I mean? And you're not doing anything but regurgitating information that one of those guys were, putting out there. So you're not even saying anything that contains any truth.
Right.
That's my whole thing.
Hood had let me bring you guys back because I can, as an outsider, that was someone that just worked with these guys, right? I could just tell you that when Hood came out, Jewels was coming out. They both had huge buzzes. So Hood could have dropped whatever around that time. He didn't have to be ready. I don't think Jewels was particularly ready when he dropped his first album, but he had a buzz. Just like Cameron was pushing Jewels, these guys were pushing you. right?
I mean, and the issue is this, and it's, I mean, it just, you can look at things from a different perspective now. I mean, I can, at least, because I'm a little bit older. And this is no disrespect to the guys, because I love the big bros and all that shit, but
Facts.
you know, I was just dealing with a group of guys that were new to being CEOs and, you know, business owners, and they never put an artist out before, so they had no real knowledge of or any real know-how. So they just, you know, mismanaged the project, man. I had, you know, singles that people were taking a liking to, all up on me. That was bubbling. We also had a joint called Nobody. That was my joint, you know what I mean? I had a joint with DJ Premier. I had another joint called Do It Like This that was warming up. So we had numerous joints, man. I even had a joint with Chingy after he sold 3 million records, you know what I mean? Like, I had another joint with Lil Flip. Like, I had joints with all kind of dudes on this album. You know what I mean?
Can I say something real quick? Just so you know, like, to Jadakiss, Styles P, and Sheik's credit, they're not the only ones. A lot of artists, for some reason, this was a cool thing around them. They're like, that's my artist. So every rapper was trying to have an artist, and most of them dropped the ball because most people weren't ready. They were new to being CEOs, you know? Jim Jones didn't put any artists out. Stack didn't come out. Max didn't come out. And that led to them having an issue. The only artist I could ever see, two artists I say from New York that put people on and put them out, 50 Cent and Cameron.
I mean, Hove too. You can leave Hove out.
Hove, but it was like Dame. You know, Dame was really big. Hove was kind of focused on Hove. Jay-Z co-signed all those artists, right? It kind of felt like that. It was like more of a team effort.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same thing, though.
But Dame Dash wasn't an artist. He was straight CEO.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. I look at their situation a little different. Like, Cameron was an artist signing an artist, you know, so it felt, you know, that's why I'm just comparing it to those two. And, you know, you had Jeezy. Later, you had Jeezy down south. He signed a bunch of artists. Nobody came out. You know, like, this happens a lot. And I think it's just an artist underestimating how hard it is to be an artist. There's so much to do as an artist. And then to add the CEO position in with no full backing of a label taking over everything, it's difficult.
And I just want to add one more thing in here just to debunk the ridiculous statement that he made about me not being ready. First and foremost, that was never the issue. I was more than ready. Anybody that's familiar with D-Block, they know at that time I was hotter than fish grease. And that's just stating facts, you know what I mean? Like, but let's just say, for instance, speaking hypothetically, if that was the case and they really felt that I wasn't ready, the average artist, if they are signed to another artist, they're usually signed to one artist. I had the liberty of signing to 3 artists. So if they felt I wasn't ready, why don't you guys come together collectively and let me know what should be added to the project to complete it? You know what I mean? You guys are seasoned vets. So that's why you should look at that and be like, that can't be the case. You know what I mean? So
you did a label switch too at one point, right? Like, you and Sheik were on Universal, right?
Right, we was on Universal Motown first, and then
did they want to put you out? Did Universal Motown want to put you out?
This is the thing, right? And we could get into all of that. First and foremost, I wasn't just an artist. I wasn't like an artist that came aboard a situation after the situation was already established. We sat down at the very beginning and elaborated on the idea of how to create this movement and what to call it and everything. And they, you know, when I say they, I meant Sheik, because originally it was me, Sheik, and my ex-manager at the time, which is Hit. We sat down and came up with the whole idea of doing this movement. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, SP and Kiss came aboard. You know what I mean? And the name was created. But before the name was even created, we was running with Locks Entertainment. Because if you listen to one of my first freestyles on, like, I don't know if it was Clue or not Clue, I'm going to say like K-Slay or somebody, I was shouting out Locks Entertainment. And we came out with the name for D-Block. So I helped create this shit versus a nigga that just came aboard.
So you were a part of the creation with all of them, D-Block.
Yeah.
And you guys all did a great job, marketing D-Block. It's a stamp still to this day.
Right. And
everybody did a great job marketing it, you know?
And another, my thing is this, not to take nothing away from anybody that was ever signed over there after, I left or whatever the case be. A lot of talented guys was over there, but truth is truth, and I have to be honest. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or do anything like that, but you have to speak what needs to be spoken on. And the truth is, no one ever generated a bigger buzz over there than what I did when I was over there when we originally created this movement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's just the facts.
Yeah, so it was exciting. It was exciting around that time. And then I have a question. So getting back to your album not coming out, did Universal Motown want to put you out?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you said, we got signed to 2 different deals. The first deal, both of those deals were structured the same way. The first one was to Universal Motown, which is, to the people that don't know, it's a major label. You know what I mean? So the deal was structured for a Chic Luch album and a J Hood album. It was like a package deal because the whole D Block thing was popping. So they wanted the whole, the imprint. So Chic came out. He came out with the 2 Guns Up.
Okay.
He wasn't initially feeling the way that things were going and the way that they, was handling this project. So somehow he got up out that situation and he worked out a situation with Koch, which is an independent label. And if anybody knows about independent label,
did he pull you with him?
That's what I was getting at right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I'm scheduled to come out on Universal. You know what I mean? Still. So, and being a new artist, you need to be on a major label because they will give you all the things that you need as far as like the marketing and all the other things that come with having that machine behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he went to go negotiate a situation with Koch, like I said, which is an independent label for the people that don't know how that works.
Yeah. E1, it's called E1 now.
Right. If you're an artist that was already out, you know what I mean, and you already obtained notoriety and people know you, it could be a good situation. You know what I mean? Because you could be going independent versus going major. So what Sheik did, he went over there and worked out, a deal. And the deal was structured the same way as the Universal deal. So he came to me and told me, listen, Hood, we got a situation worked out with Koch. You could come over here with us and you could get $3 off of each album versus you staying here and only getting 85 cents.
Right.
So at that time, it was like a no-brainer. I'm like, you know what, y'all the big bros, you ain't got to say it twice.
Sounded good.
If I can get out this situation, I'm out.
Yeah.
So they got about that situation. I had got a $35,000 advance. Let me throw that out there. They gave me $35,000, but the way that I got the $35,000, I was like 17 at the time. So I got the $35,000, and not only did I get the $35,000, but I got an accountant that handled the $35,000 for me. Excuse me. He was
for real?
He was charging me like $850, $900 a month. You know what I mean? So,
wait, why would you need an accountant for $35,000?
Listen, man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Whose advice was that?
And this was their accountant.
And he charged $900 a month?
Or if it wasn't $900, it was like $800. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. It's the same thing. $100 off, basically. Yeah, same thing. But check it out. The thing is this, and I wasn't allowed to take out. Like, let's say if I wanted to like take 20 out.
Yeah.
It would be a problem. You know what I mean? Like he'd be hitting me off in increments. Like, yo, you can only take 4 head, 5 head, 4,500 head. You know what I mean? So like spoon feeding me when I had ideas already of what to do with the money, but I'm being spoon fed. So being 17 and being spoon fed, I'm running through it. I'm fucking it up. You know what I mean? So I'm buying a little hoopty head. I'm buying a little half a pea head. You know what I mean? Trying to do shit to stay afloat. But what the fuck you gonna do if you already got shit planned out? What you gonna do with the money and you can't do it because you're getting hit off in increments? So to go back to the Koch thing, we left Universal.
Are you sure it cost you $800 a month for an accountant? You personally?
It came out of my funds.
Wait.
He put it somewhere in his car and I let him hold it. And to be honest with you, that was the last time I seen that paper. Well, $20 or $25,000 out the D Block account. So They was like, you're gonna have to wait. Do us a favor, just wait until he put it back, and we'll give you advance. So obviously, he had took my advance for whatever purposes to use it for, and I had to wait for him to replace it to get my advance. So during the time when I was waiting for that, it just so happened that my house burned down.
I was like, after we'd cut, I'd be like, yo, are you sure?
Help, you know what I mean, to get on your feet. So we cut them a $60,000 check to give to you. So
I forgot. Yo, we haven't talked about this in a while. I forgot about that.
I asked to be released.
Were you trying to hurt them by dragging the chain? Like you felt you
meeting that stood out to everybody and that contained the most shock value.
50 Cent.
Because that was a quote unquote art.
I feel like you guys resolve things, but you guys really all still need to sit down because everybody had their own faults in this. Everybody did, you know? And you guys really just need to sit around as brothers and just say sorry and just talk about it and really move on. Like really still be, it might never be the same, but you guys should still have that brotherly love with each other still, you know? It seems like that's still broken a little bit, but I know you still love them and I'm sure they still love you.
Laugh and be like, yo, I did some wild shit, man. That shit was crazy.
I mean, you could apologize for the stuff you did, right?
Yeah, I actually did. I apologized to each one of them individually. But yeah, man, it's like spoke on it. I should have been vocal about it. There's a lot of shit that I did that I would have did differently now that I'm, a little bit older and I view things a little different. But at that time, I could say now I was a little immature. You know what I mean? Like I was hot headed. I was young, man. Yeah,
and this all goes back circle to dropping a new project before the year's over, right?
Right, entitled Pesci.
Pesci, why?
It's basically a alter ego thing, but if you're familiar with the the Goodfellas movie and any other movie that Joe Pesci portrayed a gangster in, you'll know why, but more so of the Goodfellas character, Nicky Sanchuro.
So this is there is a side of you that's like that character.
Yeah,
you're not that scary.
So